Hello, everyone, and welcome to an extra intimidating episode, start of a new mini-series. I hope the starting music got you in the mood for what is to be expected from this very, very exciting series. You are watching the RPGeeks, or at least some of them, along with some very special guests. Thank you to everyone who has joined us live on Twitch. We are real life live if you're watching on Twitch right now. So anything could happen. We don't know. And thank you also to everyone who joins us on YouTube and podcast and generally after the fact. You're all fantastic. So before we dive relatively straight in, we shall introduce ourselves, tell you all we are. I'm nervous. Is anyone nervous? I'm
fine.
It's fine. I don't know. It's fine. It's probably gonna be fine. Hi. My name is Sharmini. I use she/her pronouns, and I am a quarter of the RPGeeks. And I won't tell you who I'm playing. You'll find out soon enough. Emily.
Hello, I'm Emily. I use she/her pronouns as well. I'm another quarter of the RPGeeks. So I was putting the music together for this that we're going to play throughout, and you three can't hear it. This is going to make it so much worse for me.
Yeah.
And it has freaked me out getting ready, and I love a scary movie, but I get so scared. I'm a proper watch behind your fingers kind of vibe. So, but I'm very excited. I do like being scared. And joining us being scared, Aaron, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, hello, I am Aaron. I am so excited to be scared, but for once, not doing the scaring.
I know, nice. Controversial, isn't it?
Right, and I'm a little worried because I feel like this is when I get my comeuppance, that like all the energy from all the people I've run this game for now flows into the room and then comes to me.
Yeah.
Last time I said I was proper chuffed to be here. I've done more research on British slang, and I believe buzzin' also applies. It can mean drunk, but drunk, buzzing. Not drunk, excited. I am.
Oh, you're buzzing. Yeah,
buzzing.
You're buzzing.
Yeah,
it's quite an excited. It's quite an excited vibe. I wouldn't know if I'm not particularly on the buzzing side. I'm more on the
shaking.
And the reason for that is we've brought in a very special guest GM who I believe this is your first time on RPGeeks. Is that right, Fiona?
It is.
Okay, well, tell
first
everyone
and not the
about
last.
Yourself. Definitely not.
Well, I will. Well, hello, friends and fiends. My name is Fiona. I use she/her pronouns, and normally I do What Am I Rolling, and I do DM's Book Culture 2 RPG podcast. But tonight, obviously, I have the honor and the privilege to be the Fate Weaver, the GM for KULT Divinity Lost tonight, and I am. Well, I don't know if I'm buzzing. I'm definitely. There's something in the air, isn't there? So I'm very excited.
Oh, that music's very loud.
You might be a switch quiet, apparently, Emily Bates.
I've turned myself up, so I'm hoping that is now better. This music is intense, guys. I'm just gonna put it out there that you don't hear this.
Move it to a different one. Just think happy thoughts.
No,
is it a happy start? Happy.
Yeah, happy.
Okay, yeah.
Real happy. I've only chosen. Can you imagine if all I'd put underneath this was like ding ding dee doo 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 doo.
I think that's even more terrifying.
It just made it. Oh, sorry. Okay, no, I might have to turn this so I can't hear it.
Oh dear. How are you going?
It did like a
DJ without being able to hear.
Oh, it did a scream, did it? Oh,
not quite, but like that kind of vibe.
Oh, I'll tell them to be quiet. Don't worry.
Okay, so with that all being said, is there anything else we should say? This stream has been sponsored by Helmgast, who are the creators and publishers of KULT Divinity Lost. We're very grateful to them for sponsoring and allowing us to put this whole thing together. And I just want to keep talking so we don't stop, but it's okay.
What else can we fill this time with?
What else can we talk about? No, okay.
No,
we should go.
Just hand over the reins to me. I'll be absolutely fine. Don't worry.
Don't like the way you said that.
What?
Oh my God.
Oh.
So scary.
Well, I'll take it from here. So, yes, indeed, KULT Divinity Lost is the game we're playing today. It is a contemporary horror role-playing game published by Helmsgast, notable for its philosophical and religious depth, as well as its mature and sometimes controversial content. Now, with all that in mind, the world that is depicted by KULT is one that is incredibly dark and full of imagined, but also very real horrors. A lot of the focus of KULT scenarios are on these mature themes, and they can depict a number of sensitive subjects in a very harsh and brutal spotlight. For this particular story, I've got the content warnings up here, and so these are, I'm just going to say them at the top of the stream, and then, feel free to basically take a moment and see if this is a story for you. So our content warnings for this particular scenario include, but are not limited to, the following: mentions of suicide and self-harm, alcohol and substance abuse, eyeballs, emotional manipulation, terminal illness, depictions of body horror and blood, gun violence, social political turmoil, ritualistic, probably realistic as well, magic, mental instability, religious iconography and thematic variations thereupon, the sensation of being buried alive, and mentions of off-screen abusive sexual relationships between non-player characters. As with all campaigns that I run here at RPGeeks, myself and the cast have had our session 0, gone over with lines and veils, and we have safety tools in effect. However, as I said before, I just want to give everyone the moment and say this directly to you, the watchers out there who are just watching this little play. I give you full permission to keep yourself safe and take a break from hearing our story should you need it. As I always say, you're more important than the rolls on the table and the story being told. The scenario that we're using for this particular series is called the Atrocity Exhibit, written by Jason Fryer. It's a free scenario, which you can download on the KULT resources page on the Helmsgast website, should you wish to run it yourself. But that said, again, if you have run or played in this particular scenario, I just want you to be mindful and then maybe not put any spoilers in the chat, and keep the secrets till after the stream, because if you do put spoilers, I can't guarantee your safety, because for every crossing, every rickety staircase or doorways, they might lead to your demise in an unknown and cruel world. One final thing I wish to mention is just the main game mechanic you're going to be seeing used here today. So each of our players has 10 attributes, 3 of which are passive, that's fortitude, reflexes, and willpower, and 7 which are active, charisma, coolness, intuition, perception, reason, soul, and violence. Whenever a player triggers one of their 11 moves, I'll ask them to roll 2d10 and plus a relevant attribute or modifier. We'll then compare the results to some levels of success depicted in the move description. 15 plus is a complete success. They get to do what they want to do. How wonderful. 10 to 14 is a success with complications. They may get to do what they intended, but at a cost. And a 9 or below is a failure, and they're unlikely to do what they intended, and maybe I will do something. So essentially, they want higher numbers when they're making a move. That's all I have in terms of the sort of intro. Is there anything else I've missed, my wonderful cast? Anything at all? Excellent.
Are you all right, Emily?
I've got makeup in my eye.
Podcast listeners, Emily Bates is just having a moment.
I'm crying.
What a
It's
great
possibly
start.
just overly emotional, possibly makeup in the eye. Who can
It's
say?
makeup in my eye. I put a load of very powdery eyeshadow on. Sorry, this is totally ruining the vibe after
No.
Fiona's amazing introduction.
No, I'm just making a note for later. Fiona will remember this,
I'm sorry.
This was the eyeball horror that Fiona
It
talked
was.
about.
Oh no!
It's
The
all
eyeballs.
coming to fruition. All right. Well,
How
my
did she
wonderful
do
cast. Oh, it's all magic, my friends. Good luck. You'll need it. Let's begin with the prologue. So all 3 of you have been invited to an exclusive midnight showing at the Cecil Throne Art Centre. For after more than 3 decades, Guy Vauquelin's entire Triumph De La Mort collection, known as the Atrocity Exhibit, will be presented to the public. A mad virtuoso, a dark prophet, Vauquelin's infamy surrounds him like a miasma. Rumoured to have studied at Death's feet, his insight resonates with his death-like, beautiful paintings entrancing and horrifying viewers with their apocalyptic visions. Consumed by madness and hedonism, Vauquelin ended his own life, leaving behind his artistic legacy. Now, whispers of strange noises and ghostly apparitions in the gallery have hang from people's lips. There's even a rumor or two that Vauquelin himself has been sighted, returned from the dead, and wandering about the halls. Are these simply a product of an inventive marketing campaign? Or is something far more sinister at work? Whatever the truth, all will be revealed at the exhibition's formal unveiling, an unveiling that no one will soon forget. Now, let me see. Eeny, meeny, miny. Let's start with Sid, if that's okay. Sid, where would we find you on a typical morning? This is maybe a few weeks before the unveiling, and you've yet to hear the words Guy Vauquelin and the Atrocity Exhibit come across your mind. What is a typical day like for Sid?
After the hardy effort of lumbering all the way out of bed, Sid would be found at a rickety, less than IKEA, more than thrift shop kitchen table in a totally inappropriate for his age and income bachelor apartment. Probably still in just underwear and a sleeping shirt of some kind, stirring through some cold eggs, going through his email on I will say like a 2006 Acer laptop, so practically ancient technology compared to what anyone else in the world is used to. It is a tired face that scans through these things. It is to be fair, a puffy face, never sleeping enough, always right on the edge of too busy, and never excited for the next thing that has to happen to him.
Days like this happen to Sid quite often. Looking through emails, work, sleep, eat, repeat. And then one day, a boop, notification comes up on your email. And you sort of have a quick scan of it, and you recognize the recipient. It's a friend of yours, or an acquaintance, per se, that you've probably, let me see, have spoken to them about other connected cases that you've been on, maybe in the past, or and kept in touch after various things died down. But Mary Jansen is asking just to have a catch-up with you, saying that she's in town at the Cecil Throne Art Centre. That's where she is working now, and she's was looking in the area and thought you might be around just for a quick catch-up, because she said she needed to run something by you.
Ordinarily, when you hear from people from your past life or acquaintances, it's supposed to bring you joy. But that is not the case for Sid, because there's only one reason why art and art-connected people call me or email me in this case. Once upon a time, I was responsible for doing high-value smuggling artifacts art cases for the San Francisco police. That time has passed, but there are still lots of people who are interested in tracking things down. I'm not a patron. I don't make that kind of money. I'm not even a fan of the stuff. So if she is in my email address, she wants something. But gotta pay the bills. Eggs in this economy? Yeah, I need to work.
Yeah, you're down to your last cracked yolk, unfortunately. So then maybe a day or so later, in a discreet coffee shop somewhere where the coffee is dreadful and the pastries are stale, you meet Mary. Same age as you, maybe a little bit younger. It's certainly dyed hair, sort of curls. Hasn't changed much since you last saw her, but weirdly a nervousness to her. You can see that her hands, she runs over her many creative rings and art pieces that she's wearing, clearly decked out for her role as an assistant, a consultant at the gallery. And after some pleasantries and sort of small talk, she's there is a reason that I've asked you here, Sid. I know I should have just come straight out for it, but you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to think I'm completely crazy.
Wow, cannot be the worst thing I'm going to hear this month.
And she puts forward a flyer. The flyer itself has various sort of like bits of artwork on it, various sort of yeah, it's the same sort of thing, sort of like Renaissance type modern oil paintings, an individual short cropped sort of page like hair and beard with a halo around them, and it says Atrocity Exhibit. And you can see actually it's not really a pamphlet, it's more of a ticket. Now on the reverse is kind of what I said in the introduction, that people have been invited to come see the Atrocity Exhibit. Do you we have this exhibit that's coming in, and well, the big boss, Marielle, she is quite adamant that this will be the thing of the season, but this is stupid, but I think it's cursed.
There's a moment where Sid is going through the motions, looking at the invitation, taking a sip of coffee, and then the coffee makes halfway up as she says this is cursed, and the coffee just goes straight back down to the table. I'm sorry?
It's well, we started having the pieces delivered. There's there's about 8 of them in total, and they're being fixed up in the Dubois Gallery upstairs on the second floor. But obviously, working late and stuff, I tend not to leave till gone midnight. But the last couple of weeks, I've been hearing noises, strange sounds coming from upstairs, and when I've gone to check with the security, I haven't seen anything.
Look, if that's true, that sounds awful. But why me? Are you sure? Missing dynastic pottery? I'm your man. Babylonian tablets gone missing? Give me a call. Haunted paintings?
It's not. There's also something weird going on with Marielle. Her and Alano, head of security, they've been doing stuff. Like, they've closed off the gallery to anyone that's not in their little private crew. I've not had a chance to check the gallery itself. It's all very hush-hush and secretive. It also feels like there's been some chatter on the forums. They've been talking about, when I heard we were getting the exhibit coming in, there was talk of, some pieces being in private collections and stuff, and suddenly stolen, and then we're now hosting it. And I just really hope that Marielle's not doing something silly and just there's some sort of illegal activity, and I don't know who else to come to.
All right. So this is just you and me as friends, right? There's no... Okay. And you just want me to go and make sure things are on the up and up?
I mean, I'm worried that something will happen. She's put in so much hard work and stuff, and if pieces have been illegal, like I checked the paperwork, it seemed to be all in order, but if there is even the hint of something bad happening, then we need to protect our other assets, the other shareholders and stuff. Because there could be some very angry people out there in the art community, and the last thing we need is bad publicity.
Don't know, explain it to me twice. So, this is mine then? I'm holding up the invitation.
Yes. You'll see that there's I don't know, she's very particular about it. There's a skull on the lower right. That's to indicate what time you can go in and see the exhibit. She's got different ones for different things. It's very, again, she's making it like a top thing that only the best of the best can go in at certain points.
Is skull best of the best, or am I at the back of the line?
Best of the best. Well, I've not seen this either, so you're my +1, if that's okay.
Oh, you spoil me. I tell you what, I'm happy to go. And if nothing else, if it makes you feel better that I come, what else are friends for? And God willing, we'll go. We won't find anything. We'll see some, what is it, like raccoons in the attic, something causing noises, and everything will go fine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope you like death paintings. We've got a bit of a theme going on. And so, moving from one to another. Tara, what would you be doing on a typical everyday? What's an everyday looking like for Tara Atkinson?
I think she's probably down in a basement, a warehouse of some smaller gallery, just inspecting a painting. She's got a very small little handbag, which sort of folds out, magnifying glass, tweezers, all the kits for inspecting paintings and checking their authenticity, and just peering in at one particular one, with probably a few nervous people watching from behind her.
Yes, you take a moment. You can hear people's breath is caught behind you. This little group, this sort of gaggle of people watching. You do something. I'm not going to make you do a move, but I'd like you to decide whether you think what you're viewing is the real deal or a fake.
I think she leans in, inspects the signature, starts running it over a beautiful painting of a horse, and she gets to one part of the painting and stops, pulls back, puts the magnifying glass away, pulls out the tweezers, and just plucks something from the painting and looks at it and turns and says, "I'm so sorry. This is paintbrush hairs. This has been made in the last 10 years. You've got a fake on your hands."
You hear the sounds of sort of like as someone sort of kicks away a piece of like crate or something like that. Another person is taken like forcibly into another room, and you hear the sounds of a beating happening. And sort of a young gentleman sort of comes up to you, sort of nods and hands over some cash. And he goes, "It's good to do business with you."
Always.
And walks out. And you're left alone with the painting of the horse. And as you look at it, yeah, it is a very beautiful painting of the horse. The face is a little bit odd, but dealer's choice, all these sort of things. But your phone goes off. Your little flip phone goes off.
Open it.
It's Brahim.
Oh. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. How's life? How's doing? Sorry to call you out of the blue.
That's all right. It's always lovely to hear from you. Same old, really, my end.
Good. I've got a bit of a delicate matter, darling.
Oh, everything's delicate with you.
What the charmer. Listen, I don't suppose you've had any Guy Vauquelin's work pass through your little warehouse or anything?
Oh, I wish. Triumph De La Mort. Everyone's talking about it.
Yes, they are. Well, between you and me, darling, I think the Devoirs have been they've been putting their dirty little hands in places which don't belong to them.
Marielle?
Mm-hmm.
It's not unlike her, isn't it?
I don't know. Have you met the woman recently?
Not in the last year or so.
I had one of the pieces in transition, the Tears of Jabra, and it went missing from one of my establishments. And lo and behold, a month or two later, an exhibit has opened with all of Guy Vauquelin's work, with the centerpiece there. So you can imagine why I'm a little bit, ticked off.
Well, they took it from you. This doesn't seem like a matter for me. This seems like a matter for the police, Brian.
I have said that several times, but apparently my claims of no CCTV, there's a break-in and stuff. The police aren't doing anything, darling. So, well, there's nothing better than a little scandal in the art community. I thought I'd go to the exhibit myself on opening night and I'll cause a little bit of a scene.
And I assume you want me to look at the painting?
Oh, yes, I would like to just double check. You know, it would seem odd if Mariella would have fakes in such an important exhibition. So it would be good to verify. If you're interested, I can send you over a invite.
I mean, I'm sure I could procure an invite myself.
I mean, you may well do, but I have a couple, and then you hear like a ping as an invite does come through to you.
Tell me, Brahim, what's in it for me?
What's in it for you? The goodness of getting
Brahim,
back.
we've been friends for years.
Okay. Well, between you and me, I do have a private buyer for this particular piece. I'll cut you in 20%.
40.
Hmm.
You know my word goes around this town.
40 it is.
Lovely. I'll see you there.
Dress up well.
I always do.
And the invite you get on it is the same sort of invitation to the Atrocity exhibit, except on your invite, there's no skull. There is a small, like, palette, essentially, on it as a little symbol in the bottom right-hand corner.
Okay.
Now, where would we find the Honourable Ms. Van Assen?
There is a large, grand, somewhat dusty manor house, like many that you'll find across England. And in a bedroom, you see a figure who is thin, short red hair, kind of spikily, stickily thin, wrapped in a large jumper. Luxurious sort of cashmere wool. And at this point she is going over to a laptop on her desk. Very comfortable, very casual, but just the slight flicker of eyes around as she picks up this laptop and goes to a particular corner and sits herself down in this window seat, really jammed up in the corner, such that it would be very difficult to see what's on the screen. The desktop wallpaper is a picture of a very beautiful horse, reminiscent of the painting that Dara was just looking at. And again, with just this faintest flicker of nervousness, she goes through and is basically connecting to a VPN and putting various measures in place to protect her browsing history, essentially. So that's what she's currently in the process of doing.
Yes, you connect eventually various different aliases and guises until after a couple of minutes you are secure. And the connection is brief, but you have it with your friend in New York. Plans are finalized. Flights and tickets are already booked in your name. They're waiting. You just have to find that moment in the next day or so to get out. But as you're sort of like finishing up the conversation, maybe saying, well, you know, there's a sort of a knock on the door. Mom, are you ready?
Yes, just coming. I will very smoothly just turn off, just close the relevant windows, trying to sound as sort of least hesitant as possible.
Yeah.
And moving swiftly towards the door.
Yeah, as you get to the door does open, and Carl, your bodyguard, is there. Sorry to intrude, Mom, but the car is waiting to take you.
Wonderful. And I'll just pick up a handbag that's already on the desk, pull off the large jumper and replace it with sort of elegant black shawl, and you can see that underneath she's dressed in much more sort of evening wear finery.
I must say, Mom, you're looking beautiful this evening.
Thank you, Carl. Walk past him.
As you walk past, I have a message from the family.
Oh, yes.
They say to behave yourself this evening. You are, you're representing the family at the unveiling. It's very important that that the Van Assens are seen talking the talk and walking the walk. And they wanted to make sure that's not going to be a problem for you.
I have been practicing for this my whole life, Carl. I think you can assure them that I'm more than capable.
There's a moment where Carl sort of turns his head as if listening. Very well. This way, please. And we'll walk a couple of places behind you. But it's almost like being followed by a shadow. You know it's there. Very persistent. Big shadow. And so, we come to the evening. I would like to know... Sid, what do you look like when you arrive at the Cecil Throne Art Centre? As you come up to this sort of building, it's sort of 2 stories, looking incredibly modern and a little bit out of the way. It's still in one of the bigger cities that obviously you've lived and worked in for many years now, but it is gaudy. It's a bit like a brick that's been shaped a little bit, but newfangled architecture. It doesn't give anything to it, and there's lights and stuff, and you can see people queuing out. But what does Sid do? How does Sid scrub up?
He doesn't, would be the short answer there. Sid is wearing a suit that is obviously a decade or so past fashion. Whatever cuts or fabrics or patterns are fancy now, he is living in the past. It is still 2002 in Sid Foreman's closet. Which kind of works on his body type, because what you see is a 40-something round, kind of in every part of, like in the face, in the chest, in the stomach kind of guy, waddling forward on pretty thick limbs. I imagine if you have ever visited a pub in rural England, you have seen this man, and you can conjure an image immediately. With a flat kind of snub nose, he did trim his beard, so hey. But aside from that, ill-fitting, salt and pepper, just a tired kind of bloodshot look. He has never felt comfortable around money. And that's mostly because money never feels comfortable around him. Like, no matter how rich you are, when a detective shows up, it's bad news. And now when Sid Foreman shows up at your gallery, that is also bad news. So there is a standoffishness and a discomfort, but also... I mean, it feels pretty good. Because they might not like me.
No.
But, Team Skull.
Team Skull, indeed. And as you sort of show your little invitation, and they sort of see the skull, they go, oh, of course. And actually bring you to the front of the queue, seeing various socialites, various influencers with their phones out. But you are sort of led in. I would love I would love you to do. What should we do? What should we do? Let's go for crime scene investigator, if that's all right. One of your advantages as you sort of enter this space, you're already sort of on a bit high alert, and just goes back to your training essentially. So roll 2d10 and plus the attribute. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head for that.
So plus reason. So I've got a 12 on the die and a reason of 1 for 13.
13, so it's a mixed success. What do you get with that sort of successful complications?
I get to ask one question from the list.
I'd say if you read out the list for us, because some people might not know what that list is. What I like to do in general is that sometimes the list doesn't necessarily fit the situation. So read out the list, and if one fits, that's great. If not, I would ask you. I would say, please feel free to ask me any question you would like.
The list is actually quite boring for this skill. The one for reason and perception, much longer. But the two that they're looking for is what was the chain of events, and what can I assume about the perpetrator. So I think this is one of those cases where neither one of those is going to do us much good.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, then you can ask me a question then.
I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt and say that I looked up the people who were responsible for this before we showed up, right? Can I spot the big flashy name in the crowd somewhere?
At this point in time, as you get into the space, the entranceway, you can see that there is like a little information desk. You see various gallery assistants dressed in their sort of pinafores, sort of giving out leaflets and maybe talking to people around sort of the opening sort of courtyard area. At a glance, you do not see Marielle or Anthony Dubois, but you read up quite a lot about them. And so I will say you gain the fact that both of them are quite well off, very sort of upper class in that sort of sense. And in recent years, they have been putting a lot more investments into the arts, particularly Marielle, sorry. Obviously, she has a gallery. Well, the Dubois have a gallery here. There are actually 4 galleries here. You know that there's the Dubois gallery where the Atrocity exhibit will be, and currently that is closed. But you also have 4 others. We have the Van Assens, you have the Hewitt, and let me find the other one for you. There is another one, which is... Good if I had the scenario open, wouldn't it? Rather than... there we go. Let's see. The Hewitt, the Dubois, the Rosenfeld as well. And those particular galleries are up on the 2nd floor. You can actually see as you sort of come in, there is a sort of an open space. And you can see that there is almost like... in modern buildings, like a service corridor that sort of goes around a sort of a very square, squat building. And you can see there are 2 staircases going up to sort of a mezzanine level, where you know those 4 galleries are. But there's also like a more of a community centre underneath this particular art gallery, this particular centre, with various sort of like workshop rooms. There's even a small cinema here that will do little arty nights, etc. as well. But having a quick look around at the gathered throng of people, again, you can see celebrities, a couple of politicians. You can't see the Dubois anywhere at this point. The only person you do see is Mary, who is sort of glancing around, sort of does a quick wave to you, and is currently trapped by various art collectors as she's sort of talking about the exhibition as well. But she catches your eye and sort of nods to you, and will leave you about your business unless you approach her at some point during the evening. Is there anything that you would like to do, Sid, at this time?
Well, to Mary, I will say we have a signal that we're used to for this kind of thing. When you need a boisterous person who knows nothing about art to come in and rescue you, you give the signal. Else, there are plenty of conversations that Sid makes worse by being around. So, having clocked the crowd, realizing that folks are big names, I think first things first, need to find the tray with the little sandwiches that the guy is carrying around, because I need something to do with my hands. And then, is the security team around? Do I see a lot of like little white earpieces and...
Yeah, again, maybe you definitely feel the sense that the crowds part a little bit further than probably they would do around your person, but you're used to that. But yeah, you managed to help yourself to some hors d'oeuvres, some sort of those deviled eggs, and you're like, "Mm, delicious." You're a big fan of eggs. And looking around, you can see there are security guards, not armed. There's definitely a few earpieces, like you said, but just dotted around really, just sort of looking at arms behind their backs, just making sure that no one's getting too close to any of the paintings. You do notice there's a little gift shop, but it's currently closed because no one's really buying prints and canvas bags at the at well at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah.
I'll get the read of the place. Making my circuit, I'm certainly not going to browse the art unless someone literally drags me screaming. I should not have used that word. Literally drags me against my will into one of these places. But maybe in a bit, when Mary gets a clear line, we can chat a bit. But until then,
Yeah, you're just surveying the scene, just sort of checking in and just fading into the background a little bit and helping yourself to some more devil's eggs.
as much a man as my size can.
Indeed. Let's go to Tara.
Yes, I think she's done up, I think is the phrase we would use. She's quite a curvy woman. She's wearing a tight dress, sort of halter neck, very low back, and it's got those gold chains hanging, looping down the back, like a deep blue, very high heels. She's got long, wavy brown hair, incredibly piercing blue eyes, and again just has her little tiny bag, which contains all of her tools of her trade. And I don't know what time my ticket gets me in.
So the ticket, as Brahim will sort of talk to you, because he'll be with you at this point, and he's looking quite dapper in his little suit as well, a sharp red tie, very clean shaven, his hair again cut quite close, with cufflinks, sorry. And he explains that like anyone can get in, it's just seeing the art, gallery. There's slots and stuff. I don't know what that means, and points to a little palette, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And you'll put in the pen with the other socialites and the people, and it's a little cold. But after about half an hour or so, people check in. There is a sort of a person on the door, a sort of bigger woman, and she asks, "What have you got in the bag?"
Lipstick, the like. You know how it goes.
I need to see inside your bag, miss.
Why? It's tiny.
It is, but if you've got a bag, you need to check it in case you've got anything in there.
Of course. And I'll hand it over.
I'd like you to roll for me Act Under Pressure, please, because I assume you've got stuff in your bag.
Yeah.
That is roll plus coolness, please.
A 0 is a 10 on this dice, isn't it? Yes. Okay. No, that's
good.
No, yeah, that's right. I was suddenly like,
I got caught out by that a second.
I was like, 0? No,
wait a second.
That is 19.
19?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Get all the good rolls out the way.
Yeah, she opens the little bag. He's like,
tweezers for eyebrows. You know the works. You know how it is. Come on. You've got to keep yourself looking fresh at an art exhibition. You never know who could be in there.
He shuts it and hands it back over to you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too. Wink at Brahim as I walk past.
Brahim's like, honestly, get away with murder, you would.
Maybe one day.
And yeah, you come to the same sort of thing, this sort of immediate sort of courtyard area. Again, you can see more sort of those like waiting staff holding out. Like there's certainly somebody going around with champagne glasses and offers it to both yourself and Brahim, and sort of gentle little clink of glasses. So I told maybe a little fib, but only a slight one, Tora. But I thought you're a girl who likes drama, so.
I don't know why you would get that impression, Brahim.
I've asked a lady of the press to come.
Who?
I don't think you know her, but she does the society pages. Samantha
Society?
Church.
Why are you bothering with the society pages, Brahim?
Oh, no, because the Dubois, I just wanted to ruffle some feathers, So just to let you know, if you need a distraction or anything like that, I'll make sure. Oh, Sammy, and sort of like waves across, and there's like a very bird-like woman that again is weirdly having two champagne glasses.
Oh.
And she's got like a little, again, not as small as your bag, but definitely a small bag, and she has like a camera, very biddy camera essentially next to her. And she goes, "Oh, Brahim, you must be Tara."
I am. Hello, lovely to meet you.
Yes, I'm just very well.
Sorry, you are Brahim. Introductions.
Oh, of course. This is Samantha Church. This is Tara Atkinson, is my associate. She'll be making sure that the artwork is legitimate, and obviously that would give rise to a cost.
You're the journalist.
I am. Yes. I was gonna, record everything essentially.
Right. Brahim, this is going to do no good for me.
Oh, darling, don't worry. I'll make sure you're not in any photos. That we can do that, can't we, Sammy? Oh, yes. I just want to focus on Marielle and Brahim, because that's the more juice of the story. So if you don't want to be a part of it, I'll make sure you're not in any photos.
Yes, I think I should go for a wander actually, and I'll walk away from them.
Oh, okay. Well, have fun. And yeah, you go for a walk. Is there anything you particularly want to do, Tara?
I think she'll start looking at the paintings.
The paintings around this area.
Well, the ones I can see. I know I can't get into the Triumph De La Mort, but any of the paintings in the gallery.
Yeah, absolutely. You sort of wander around, and some very excitable person will come up and be like, "Oh, do you need a map?"
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need one, there's a little stack here, and we,
I don't need one.
Okay. Absolutely. I'd like you to do me. Let's do observe a situation. This one. So that's roll plus perception.
Yeah. Not as good. 9.
Do you have anything on your perception?
I've added it.
Oh. You get to ask a question anyways, but you get no bonus for it, because obviously if you've got a higher success, you get +1 going forward. But you do attract either some unwanted attention or expose yourself to danger. So have a look at those list of questions. And if none of them suit, feel free to ask me one anyway.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find them. What page am I looking at?
I can read them out for you because I've got them here. So it's what is my best?
Oh, sorry, yes. Have you got the page? Just because I'll run to it. But
I don't. I just have a quick reference.
Oh, great. No, that would be. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron from the Vale. So the questions are: what is my best way through this? What currently possesses the biggest threat? What can I use to my advantage? What should I be on the lookout for? What is being hidden from me, and what seems strange about this? Or a question of your choice.
I will go for. I like what can I use to my advantage, but I will sort of loop around Brahim and I didn't write her name down. Was it Sarah?
Samantha. Samantha or Sammy.
Sammy. I will loop around them and see if I can pick up on anything. But
yeah. I think. You can see as people are starting to file in a bit more, there's lots of clamoring and sort of like, "Oh, darling," and "Oh my God, we're at the Cecil Throne Art Centre. #Atrocity." Really horrible, like, influencer things, which you're like beneath you. But you carry on in the background, looking at the artwork on this particular floor in the central thing. A quick look-see. You can see that there is definitely like a fountain in the center of this particular floor, and again behind you can see there is a little cafe that says "Brain Freeze," but as in like sort of FRIEZE. Currently that bit is closed, but there is various canapes and stuff going out there. You notice a couple of things. You can see that there is a gentleman that's maybe not wearing the modern fashions. That's sort of sitting back a little bit, is just eating devil's eggs, just watching it. But on the other side, you do spot another person doing a similar thing, a little bit more sort of like shorter, a bit squatter perhaps, not wearing a long coat, but a waistcoat, looking a bit more finer, but also surveying the room a little bit, and sort of like clearly looking at his watch quite a bit, whereas the man with the deviled eggs is just seeming just to look around, so to speak. You also notice as you pop downstairs for a little bit, you can see there's a bit more of a community centre. You can see there is a cinema experience going on, and it's sort of playing one of those really, really dry sort of films of, well, yes, this is the history of Guy Vauquelin. And you maybe stop for a few minutes. There's a couple of people sat in darkness watching this with a black and white voice over PowerPoint, essentially, that's sort of running through, giving various little bits of details and stuff, but nothing.
At one
Nothing
point,
too
I just
exciting.
go wrong and then walk away.
Yeah, it's really inaccurate at times. There's definitely bits and pieces that are missing. Certain parts about like the dates it gets wrong and stuff. You feel like it's been quite edited. I'd give you that to your advantage.
Okay. I will go back up to the man with the deviled eggs, who I believe I would recognise.
You would indeed.
I will not go over to him.
No.
But I will go stand and look at a painting nearby and sort of try and catch his eye as I walk over.
Absolutely. And I think at this point, Sid, you would also catch us as well, that your informant is also around here. And there's maybe a little bit of a shock that maybe this particular person hasn't been in contact with you. And both of you maybe are a bit surprised at why you're both here. But yes, Tara, you may feel free to look at a painting. It's a gaggle of geese going across a creek.
Just stare.
I think Sid clocks this, and gets the side eye has a negative connotation. Gets the eye from the side, as Tara walks past, and realizing now that he didn't bring a napkin, the last deviled egg goes into the mouth, and then it's just the quick hand, and follows behind. There's a good heavy dramatic beat as he takes a position not immediately adjacent, a few feet, like two polite patrons viewing the same painting. And then just, are the geese supposed to be symbolic?
God knows. I didn't think you were going to be here.
I didn't think I was going to be here.
Neither did I. Why are you here?
Friend asked.
What friend?
You and I both know that if I tell you, you'll tell somebody else, or you'll use it for God knows what.
Fine. Going to see the paintings? Triumph De La Mort?
Yeah, are you a Skull Gang?
Was this... No. What, Skull Gang?
On the thing, like a skull?
No, I have the palette, actually.
Is that good?
I have no idea, Sid.
Oh. Yeah, well, it makes you feel any better. I'm not here for you.
That does make me feel better. Why are you here?
Same reason anywhere. Somebody has something they shouldn't.
That I think I might agree with.
You know something?
Do you know something?
We're gonna do this. Can we look? The night's not that long. Can we?
I have heard that the painting may have exchanged hands. It's just rumours and gossip. What do I know?
Based on your CV, you know quite a bit, actually.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I couldn't possibly say if it's the real thing or not.
And the who?
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
Now you tell me what you know. That's how this works.
Well, I know two things. I know it's probably stolen, but I don't know who stole it. And I know it is allegedly haunted.
Sid. A haunted painting. Really?
Or the museum, or the... It wasn't entirely clear to me.
Right. Okay. Have you been drinking?
Not yet.
Me either. Should we go get another one? walk 5 feet behind me, and she'll walk off.
And with that, I think our last of our team arrives. The car rolls up to the entrance. Carl instantly jumps out, comes around, and opens the door for Ms. Vanderhaas to ascend.
I ascend. First I descend, and then I ascend elegantly. Looking very gorgeous. She's kind of a naturally gawky figure, kind of bony and sharp, but with just enough sort of fashion advisors and wealth to like hide it enough. And again, looking sort of very smooth and comfortable, smiling from the minute she gets out of the car, with just the occasional flicker of eyes around, just noting where things are, where the steps are, where the street is, who's where, things like that.
Absolutely. Let's do one for you as well. Let's do observe the situation. So that's roll plus perception. And what I'd say, as you're sort of getting out the car, there's a lot of clamor, like, oh, miss, and there's like, as various camera bulbs go off. There's lots of like, oh my god, it's her! Oh my god, it's her! You know, like from the various cues of people, but you don't need to cue. Don't be silly. And you just sort of make your way up and literally ascend the stairs at this point.
That was a 9.
A 9. So yeah, you get to ask a question anyway, but you get no bonus for it, and you miss something, or attract unwanted attention or expose yourself to danger. So you get to ask any question. Again, the list of questions are: what's your best way through it? What poses the biggest threat? What can I use to my advantage? What should I be on the lookout for? What is being hidden from me? And what seems strange about this?
Well, my motivation at the moment is a little bit single-minded, and it is definitely what can I use to my advantage. I am pondering, if I were to leave by this exit alone later on in the evening, how visible would that be from where, and where would a car, say, need to be that I could get swiftly at it? Or is there anything else around here that could benefit swift departure?
Right question. I think you instantly clock that the main entrance is probably not the best exit if you wish to exit discreetly, and if you wish to be unseen. But what comes up to you straight away? A very small, well put together chap. You can see like a very small moustache, hair gelled back, very much a very prim and proper, almost like a tartan suit, like with a very dark mint green. And it sort of hands outstretched. And is this someone you've met in passing, or you think someone in the family has? This is Emmett, who is the art gallery director, so the main top person. And he said, "Oh, madam, we didn't realize you were coming. Oh, fantastic. We're so glad to have you here. Please, please, please." And we'll sort of let you in. And you get the impression that he is here to just again, not aware that you were arriving per se, that any of the other gallery patrons, because obviously your family is a patron of this particular centre, so he's very much doting on you. Instantly grabs champagne, goes, "Oh, is there anything you'd like?" and is doing his best to sort of ignore the muscle that is sort of clinging behind you, but the muscle is also having issues. Certainly a little bit of a contention as they sort of ask if he's got any weapons at the door. So there's a moment where he sort of the attention is distracted per se. But you do now have a bit of a clinger on in the form of Emmett. Darling, it is wonderful to have you here, and your family's patronage, of course. It's been so long since any of you have come to see your own exhibit. So delighted, absolutely delighted, darling.
Oh, Emmett, my dear, we wouldn't miss this opening. I'm so thrilled to be able to represent the family here and to see the new pieces. They sound fascinating, and it indeed has been a while. Have you made many changes around the centre?
Not around the centre per se. Obviously, we've kept it to your instructions, to your family's instructions about the Van Nasses. I mean, it's all fitting in with a certain theme. As you can tell, it's it's maybe a bit gloomy, perhaps, and we were thinking of doing maybe a spring special. As again, if you were to come back on a less busy day, maybe you could talk to some of the community projects that are going on. We're really looking into art and nature and bringing people up there. But no, the galleries itself, they're all is as you probably last saw them a couple of years ago, I believe. But obviously the Dubois, well, that is all new for tonight's little soiree.
Well, I'd love to keep having a look around.
Please, please, please. If you should need any help, obviously you know where your gallery is. I would say, obviously we can't show favourites. And I know obviously your presence here holds a lot of influence. But I would ask not for you to go into.
Of course, Emmett. Don't worry. Of course.
I know. Please, if you need anything, I can assign you maybe Sherry. So this is Sherry, and as a very gawkish, awkward girl who might have been trying to pass off a map earlier to someone else is now like says. Sherry, this is Madame Van der Ars. She is one of the patrons of our galleries here, so maybe she could take you on and give you a bit of a tour. Sherry is one of our best tour guides. Isn't that right, Sherry? And Sherry's like, yes. Hello. Would you like a map?
So delightful. I would love a map. I might, I think I should love to have a tour. I might come and reconnect with you in a few moments and and get your expertise. It sounds wonderful.
Great. Well, and sort of like awkwardly, a very sweaty map appears in your hand. She's clearly been. Sounds like not many people have been taking maps from her. But uncrumpled, you do get a good sense of the layout of what you can see within the sort of the 3 stages. So where you're currently on this sort of courtyard area, and as you sort of know, there is the sort of mezzanine area with the 2 staircases going up to your various galleries. And yeah, what would you like to do?
Just while I have a few minutes, I want to again get the lay of the land. I've been here before. Not for some time. I want to make sure that any understanding I have of the layout of exits hasn't changed. Make sure I'm not going to be anywhere that would alarm Carl if he were to come back in and see. I don't want it to look like I'm avoiding him, but he's there to be my shadow. I don't look at him. I don't pay attention to him.
Yeah, so you want a little bit of time to yourself. Yeah, so you I'd say he does eventually catch up to you, but you manage to sort of keep moving, being very aware of where he is behind you. And you do get a good sense of the land again. You are aware that certainly on the ground floor there's definitely exits out that probably lead to some sort of back alley or a place where you think people would come into service the closed cafe, maybe something for the gift shop and the unloading docks, that sort of thing. So you think if you're able to sort of negotiate maybe a taxi or an Uber, other taxi places may exist at this point. Who knows in this game? You think that you can easily sort of maneuver that there. But you need a good shot though, because as soon as called back, he's literally behind you every step. He does have he doesn't eat anything, doesn't drink anything, just sort of is behind you and just watches you everywhere you go.
I studiously ignore him.
As the evening goes on, various people, patrons sort of come in. You've got roughly about 100 or so people, and eventually the lines dwindle and there are people in and about looking at various portraits. Some people are a bit upset that the gift shop's not open, but should have got here earlier, right? I know. But then there is a moment, almost like an awed hush goes over the crowd, and you can hear there's always like not gasps but sort of like they're here. And from the top of the mezzanine, 2 people appear. sort of arm in arm. Those people who are familiar with the Dubois, I think all of you would be, either through seeing in their picture in the newspapers or being at some other social events, but you instantly see Marielle and Anthony Dubois. You can see Anthony is a man in his 60s, has sort of a very short, sharp beard. His hair is matching the hair matching, so grey on grey, almost smoke on smoke. He seems sort of like stands up quite straight, with his arm out, and you see on his arm a little bit of a younger woman, but not so much so, maybe early 50s or so. Hair a dark raven. She looks immaculate. The sort of the black dress is tight in places that maybe are too tight, perhaps, but not necessarily. She just holds it so well, and this hush enters the whole of the courtyard as people look up, and there's a bit of a smattering of applause as Mariella sort of takes to a small podium, as they sort of descend the stairs to a small podium in between. Marielle, where is that introduction? She sort of gets the podium and is released by Anthony, sort of like quickly sort of moves from it. She says, Mesdames and Messieurs, it is a absolute delight that you are here today, and thank you so much for taking us up on our invitation to Vauquelin's Triumph De La Mort, or as you say, the Atrocity Exhibit. It has been a long time in the works, and it has taken a lot of effort to put things in place, but I must say it has been, well, a goal of mine and a lifetime achievement. As some of you may know, I was once a colleague, seems too formal, acquaintance too far, but I knew Vauquelin so well, and it has been many years since he has passed, but I feel like he is here every single day. And the last thing, the biggest sort of achievement I wish to do is to share his art and his passion to you, to a new generation, a new audience. And through various many years of hard work, I have been able to do that. Thanks to my obviously wonderful husband Anthony, and it's like a small smattering of applause. But also, I have so many people to acknowledge. Of course, I must say thank you to Alano, Deset, and everyone sort of turns around to see this sort of head of security that's sort of been positioned again along one of the walls as well. I think Sid would have noticed him. Again, sort of very nondescript gentleman wearing a sort of more of a beige suit, clearly dressed up for the event, but it has the stock of somebody that is daily life is sort of everyday security. Alano has been so key to not only helping us set up the exhibit and making sure everything was in its proper place, but well, without him, it would have been. Sorry, and you can see she starts to cry. I am a little emotional. It has been a long time coming for this event, and I just wish to share it with all of you. Obviously, to make a pomp and circumstance, we will have the unveiling at midnight on the stroke of it. If you have a skull on your invitations, you will be in the first grouping. Again, very limited viewing to get the full experience of the artwork, and then obviously we'll go through the rest. There's an hourglass, a palette, and a picture frame. So, but please drink and celebrate, for whilst we are celebrating death, really, we are celebrating life in all of its forms. For the circle is complete. Life, death, rebirth was so important to Vauquelin, and it is important for this gallery as well. There's a toast to Vauquelin, or Guy Vauquelin, and the Atrocity Exhibit. Everyone raises a toast, and there's a polite applause. I would like everyone to make me a read a person check. So please roll plus intuition. What did folks get?
I got a 13.
13 for Tara.
Got 11.
15 from Sid.
15. So Sid, you completely succeed, which is great. So you may ask me 2 questions from that list, and then Tara and Eran, you have you can ask 1 question. How nice. Let's go with Sid. Obviously, we have a list of questions there about reading a particular person, so this is more like an insight sort of role. But again, if there's a question, if you're like, one thing I would say, this is a house rule, is that if you can only think of 1 question just now, but you've got another question later on, hold on to that question. You don't have to spend it now. And that same goes for the other people as well who only have 1 question. Please feel free. You don't have to ask that question now, but maybe later, just as long as you remind me what it is. But yeah, Sid, from that list of questions or a question that you have, what would you like to ask me?
Well, for the folks at home, the list for read a person is: Are you lying? How do you feel right now? What are you about to do? What do you wish I would do? And how can I get you to blank? In this case, I think I'm going to stick to this list. My first would be, how do you feel right now?
Looking at Madame Dubois, you notice, and maybe it's just your background of being, working on the force, seeing a mask that people put on when they're hiding something. You can see that she's a little unsteady on her feet. And actually, with all the makeup and the dress and the jewelry, she looks, immaculate, but actually, you notice that she has a lot of makeup on. Her cheeks are quite hollow. And while she sort of starts to step to talk to other people, you can see that she does have a little bag. All these people have little bags. And she pulls out like a very beautiful silk handkerchief, and she sort of dabs it at the side of her mouth and coughs ever so often into it. So you would surmise that she's not 100% well just now. And on top of that, I guess sort of that's more the physical side of it, but also the sort of the mental side of it. You can sense that there is a sense of excitement. Her speech was very impassioned, but those tears were genuine. There was something about the way she talked about Guy Vauquelin that meant something.
That would have been the answer to my second question. So you can have the second one from me as a GM. I was going to say, are you lying about? So I'll leave it to you. Do I get one from my pocket, or does that count? Okay.
Absolutely.
Then I will hang on to that.
Please do, and just remember it. Let's go to Ms. Van Ars. What's your question? If you have one, you can always hold on to it.
Could I look at Alano Tosette instead of her?
Ooh.
When she... Because everyone turned to look at him.
Yes.
And I'm not quite sure what that relationship is, or why that should be so significant. Like, it seemed noteworthy to me. So
absolutely.
Probably also, how do you feel right now? But
I like that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone sort of goes back as Dwara's talking, is again clapping and stuff, but you keep your eyes set on Alano. Alano does not clap. Alana's eyes are straight on Marielle. And the way he's holding himself, very tense, very rigid. You think you don't remember meeting him per se? Like you were aware of him, but he's so rigid. Like, arms at his side, looking dead straight at Marielle, and shows no emotion when she reacts. Tara.
Tara would like to know when she lists the different icons on the tickets. Is it really obvious that the palette is a bad one? She just wants to know where she's been judged to belong.
Ooh. I think you know it's a bad one.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. I just wanted you to say it.
You think the way she talked about it, the way she lists them, that is in the order you go and see the exhibit. But there's still time. Maybe you could switch your invite.
Oh, I shall be.
Is there anything you guys would like to be doing? And again, I'm going to make this sort of free form now, before we go to a break. Is there anything that particularly you'd like to do before? Otherwise, we'll just fast forward to the...
I'd like to find Brahim.
Brahim is sort of like... You can see he's necking back a few champagnes in the corner. It has actually slinked a little bit out of sight as soon as the Dubois appeared, and he's sort of like muttering to himself, Tara.
Hello.
Tara.
Hiding, are we?
No. Not at all, just Dutch courage.
Where did you get the invites from?
The invites, they were sent to me.
By who?
The list. I signed up to a list. They sent me the list.
A list? We're just on some list. Honestly, third in line, Brahim.
All right, well, maybe you can do better, Miss I'm the consultant to the stars.
I am. I've worked with Marielle in the past. Why didn't you just ask me? If I'd known this palette thing was third in line, I could have sorted it.
Go and ask her then. Like, I have a different motive. I'm gonna talk to her, and I need you to...
You know what, you stay here, you create your little drama or whatever it is you're going to do, throw a glass of champagne against a wall, I don't care. I'm going to go get myself in properly. And
right.
I'll flounce off.
Right. You flounce away.
She flounces away from a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I won't go straight to Marielle.
No.
I will go to Sid. Sid?
Tara?
You have a skull on your invite.
Yeah.
That means you're first in, right?
Really? He knows.
Yeah, of course.
She knows he knows.
and you know he knows.
Shocked
I know,
face.
you know, I know.
Really?
Sid, I really need to get into that painting before anyone else can see it. We wouldn't want it to be tampered with. So perhaps we could just swap.
I see. And then I get, in exchange for this...
You get to go see the painting still? It doesn't really affect anything, does it, Sid? What's the harm?
Maybe I'm gonna come around. Maybe this is my chance to get into this art thing.
Sid, you asked me about what the geese represented.
Is it not symbolism? 'Cause I
It's
thought
just
it was
a
like a
picture
family
of
thing.
geese.
Oh, well that's... Why does it cost so much?
That's
okay,
a bigger question. But
look, you're right. That doesn't mean anything to me. But we are both right that it means a lot to you. So I'm happy.
Say a lot. I just, you know.
Oh, then I can keep it then.
No,
right?
no. Okay, yes, fine. Sit.
Right. No, it's fine. Only one thing I want from you. Give me the names. One invitation. 1, 2 names.
The Tears of Derba. Am I saying that right?
DJERBA.
Yeah.
Gerba.
Gerba.
Gerba. Tears of Gerba. I assume that's the painting you're here for as well.
Maybe.
It used to belong to my friend. He lost
Doesn't have
it.
a name?
He does have a name.
Does he want the skull invitation?
He doesn't get the
Or
skull
she?
invitation right now.
Okay.
Brahim Nasra.
That is a name you do know, Sid. All too well.
Yeah, and I don't think Sid has a good enough poker face to reveal that he doesn't believe Brahim owned it either.
Yeah.
Like, uh,
What's
oh,
that face for?
Brahim Nazra
Brahim Nasra.
owned something.
He's an art dealer. It's not out of the realms of possibility.
Like officially owned it. There's a whole
Well, I
thing.
don't know if he owned it, but he was, transporting
Okay,
it or something.
that's fine. No,
It
at
went
least I know where to
missing,
start.
and
Hmm.
well, now it's here all together with the complete collection. Don't you think that's a bit strange? None of his
I
paintings have
do.
been together for years.
I hey, look, we're on the case. And while you and I at this point, I'm a man of my word, will pull out the invitation from the jacket and hand it over. While you are enjoying your first skull trip,
Thank you.
maybe I'll be speaking with Mr. Nasra.
That's absolutely fine. Just a warning, he has drunk at least 4 glasses of champagne. Good luck. And I'll flounce away.
And Tara flounces away. Ms. Van Arsen, what are you doing?
I am the picture of social graces and charm and normality and just getting sort of more and more on edge as the night progresses, thinking it has to be tonight, it has to be tonight, and not able to have a hair out of place, anything out of the normal. So yeah, just that just moving around the space with that tension between normality and anticipation.
You move around the space and you find yourself up by your family's gallery. And as you're, again, your shadow, a couple steps behind at all points, you're kind of lost in your thoughts, like, I need to get out, I need to get out. Think about the exits, think about where I can. And as you're walking across the opening, you hear a gasp as somebody hits into you. And you look up, you sort of come out of your reverie and you see a much older gentleman. Oh God, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Oh,
Are you all right?
Oh God, there's something in there. There's something in there. There's something happening with one of the paintings. Oh God. And you can see, like, it's a much older gentleman, about sort of 70 or so, has a sort of a cane, but you can see his cheeks are quite flushed and his heart, you can hear he's taking very deep, panicky breaths.
Carl, can you arrange a chair and a glass of water for this gentleman?
Of course, Mum. And he sort of signals over to a couple of the gallery assistants. And he says, oh, thank you. Sorry. Miss Van Daan, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted to see your family's artwork, and he has his head in his hands as he sort of sits down in the stool.
Do I think I should know who this is?
You don't know who this is.
Right. Are you a fan of the works we've collected here? How lovely.
Yes, yeah. I'm a patron of the arts. Victor, and actually, like, in the way elderly people do, grabs your hand, and you can sort of feel those sort of older skin on your skin, and it's don't like being touched. Just sorry, love. I thought I saw my Georgie. That's all. Sorry. I just had a funny turn.
A relative of yours?
My wife, she passed on a couple of months ago. She didn't suffer in the end, but I don't know. I was looking at one of those paintings and points to, like, a corner of in your family's gallery, one of the paintings. And for a moment, I thought I saw her. She looked like she was in terrible pain.
Well,
it's just
the pieces can be disturbing, but art is meant to be evocative, and it can sometimes stir up perhaps things that were in our subconscious already there in our minds.
yeah. I just when she left, it was pretty. I was all over the place, but it's not. Sorry, I shouldn't. And releases your hand at this point. And as you look at this person, you start to see the littlest trickle of blood coming down from his nostril.
Sorry, excuse me. She immediately sort of starts taking deep breaths, slightly flustered, composure broken. Backs away. I think I'll go into the.
You're right, love. Is something the matter? Maybe do you need this chair?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go into the gallery if that's the quietest place. Because no one's going into the Van Assen gallery.
No.
Tonight.
Annoyingly, no one's going
reason.
in. Yeah, absolutely. But before you do, I need you to do a roll for me. I just gotta find it.
That's part of it. Yes, that's on the. Yeah.
That's on the thing.
That's the thing with the thing. Yes.
Correct.
You know how the game works. It's fine.
It's all fine. Go away, silly thing. I'm gonna get you to roll for phobia, if that's okay.
Yes, let's keep it together. I'm
Yep.
quite good at that. 12.
12. Okay. What does it say for your 12?
I have lost it. I don't know. One moment.
It's okay. I've got it here. Haunted phobia.
Oh, I think it's.
Oh, you just go. Oh, it's keep it
It's
together.
just keeping it together. That's why
Correct.
I've not
There
got
we
it.
go.
It's the same as
It's the same.
Yeah.
All good. So 12 is a success with complications. That's fine. You do keep it together. You go into the gallery. That's good. As you go in, you're surrounded by your paintings, ones that you've seen little bits before, and you just getting away because you know what blood means. You become scared. That's a condition. I think it's scared. I'm going to choose this for you for now, but I think in future you're going to choose your own thing. So that's -1 stability to your thing. You're scared at this current moment because you know what blood means. And you end up in front of a painting. And you've seen this painting before. It's a horrible painting. You've never liked it. It's the one of the Doctor. The Art of the Doctor. And you just sort of stood there and you're just breathing. And before we go to break, you start to hear from little speakers that normally have like ambient music or anything like that. Suddenly the music sort of dies away, and as you do that deep final breath, you start to hear, is that whispering? Horrible, demonic whispering. And they're saying, what you can make out, free us. You have to free us. It's coming. We will be free. The feast is upon us. You must free us. And I think with all that, let's take a 5-minute break, shall we, team? Let's go look outside. Let's go look at some nice paintings of geese and maybe a horse. Sound good?
Will that help?
Okay.
I believe at this point in this universe, there's only one painting of a horse ever.
Oh, yeah.
And we're all just
Same
talking
one.
about that. It's
Yeah.
always the same painting of the same horse.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching and joining so far, everyone. I'm saying that like we're going. We'll be back. We're going to take a short break. We'll see you on the other side. Goodbye.
Hello. Sorry, always that way. Hello and welcome back to opening night at the Cecil Throne Art Centre. Let's return very quickly back to Miss Van der Aas. You are currently very scared.
Van Assen.
Van Assen.
There's a whole gallery named after.
I am so
If you
sorry.
could read
How
the
dare
read
you.
the sign.
I never read the sign. Clearly,
You could just read
Van
the sign.
Assen. Sorry, it's
my
my
family's name.
it's my Britishness. I'm like Van Assen. That's
Van
what's happened there.
Assen. It sounds very
Van
arse.
Assen.
Fan the arse.
Arse, yeah.
Fiona will remember this, and oh no, the gallery falls, everyone dies. Oh.
No.
You're in your family's
Fair.
gallery, and that fear of seeing the blood coming out of this older gentleman's nose, Victor's nose, and the sounds, this almost horrible soundscape of things whispering, coming through the various little speakers around the gallery, as you're sort of stood holding yourself in front of this particular image. What's going through your mind just now?
So there's this sort of immediate horror and like as the whispers are talking, this sort of almost inadvertent, like, oh no, almost a whisper just sort of slips out, and I think it does jerk her out of it a bit. And I want to turn and see if Carl is there, and see if Carl heard either of those things.
You turn around and you see Carl is approaching you, and it's like,
Okay.
is everything okay? What's wrong?
I felt a little faint. I'm sure I'll be fine. Has the whispering stopped?
The whispering has stopped. Okay. It's almost like that sort of moment where you sort of turn around. I think he almost has gone to reach your shoulder as you just turned around, and it's just like that, gone. Yeah. You have taken your medication today.
I usually take it after food.
Yeah, and it goes into a pocket and pulls out a little little box, little like tin box, and opposite to you.
I'll take it. Some of those canapes I saw earlier. I should eat first.
Indeed, I've removed the gentleman from the gallery, so he won't be causing more of a nuisance.
A nuisance, the elderly gentleman. Whatever do you mean, Carl?
Oh, he was shouting something about the paintings and stuff. He was causing quite a stir, so I just motioned to the security, and he'd been taken outside.
He was hardly shouting.
He ran into you.
Well, a slight bump. You needn't be so protective, Carl.
On the contrary, I feel that is my entire duty to protect you.
Of course, but there are optics ejecting an elderly gentleman. You represent the Van Assens, don't forget. Food, Carl, come.
Okay. As you leave, what you didn't see. So as you leave, the painting.
I'm not looking.
No, you're not looking at anything. But what Sharmony sees, perhaps.
Ah, damn it!
Yeah. So the camera sort of you sort of go out with Carl, following down. You can hear like people sort of talking and murmuring and clinking of glasses, and more canapes. Oh, devil's eggs. The camera still focuses on the painting that you were looking at. The Best Doctor is this painting by Alfred Kumbin.
This is a real painting.
It is a real painting. You can look it up, but not now. Has an terrifying sort of creature, or doctor in quotation marks, looking over an individual in the bed. And for a moment, in an empty gallery at this point, the painting shifts. It sort of moves outward, as if someone has put their face to it. And the sort of way it moves, for the briefest of seconds, looks like someone is sort of screaming. into sort of the muslin. And then someone walks past the camera and it's back to normal. Well, let's go back down to Sid. What are you up to, Sid? What are you up to, Mr. Foreman?
First things first, as Tara tears off with what was formerly my invitation, there's a moment where, knowing how she operates and knowing how it is not the first or last time she may or may not have gotten the best of me, I am checking my pocket. Did I get an invitation back from her? Or did she just take off with mine? Did we trade, or was I robbed?
No, she traded. She probably just sort of very subtly sort of handed it to you, maybe with a napkin on the top. So you maybe look down, see a napkin, and think, "Oh, shit!" But then when you turn it over, and the other one is in there, she has no need for it.
Yeah,
that's going back into the pocket. And then straightening up, scanning the room. Do I see Brahim anywhere?
You do. You can see that he's sort of like is talking to a very bird-like woman who's also seems to be clutching quite a few now empty champagne flutes, and sort of like discussing stuff. And you can see like there's a moment where he sort of clearly burps, and there's a little bit of giggle and stuff like that. You can see that, true to what Tara said, there's clearly been a lot of Dutch courage for this moment more, and that makes a lot of sense to you. Not that you've had a run-in with this particular person, you've only sort of heard various rumors and stuff. More bark than bite is the phrase. But you see there's a sort of moment where he sort of indicates that he'll be right back. You see just to go do something. You can see sort of stretch out, puts various glasses on a poor sort of serving girl's sort of tray, and he walks towards the bathroom on the main floor.
Well, that is excellent, because of the conversation that we are about to have. I don't think he wants to have in front of anybody. I will follow along.
Yep.
I will give a good 15 seconds, so I'm not following immediately after him. I will enter the bathroom. I will immediately break urinal etiquette, and instead of being equally spaced, stand right next to him.
Well, that's the funny thing. As you go in, nobody there.
Oh, it's that kind of just anything under the...
You look under the sort of cubicles, and you can't see anything for the first couple, and then towards the end, you do see a pair of feet. Very nice, like Oxford's not brogues, Oxford shoes.
So in my mind, I've seen him enter for sure, and there's only one pair of feet that aren't mine. So deducing says it has to be him. And because I know of him, and because I am Sid Foreman, I'm going to walk down towards that end of the restroom, and then probably turning and leaning against the wall behind. Having a good night in there, Brahim?
Nothing.
Not even like a, who's Brahim?
No.
Okay, that's fine. No, he wants to play it like this. He's just shocked to hear me. Okay, well, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know that I know about the art. And if that were something that you wanted to chat about, maybe when you're done, I got time. We could, maybe spend a good night. Just, two bros talking about provenance and U.S. Title 14,
Sid, I need you to make me an avoid harm check.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Wow,
Roll 2d10 plus reflex.
Wasn't expecting the bathroom to be the dangerous place.
It's just a leak, probably, from above.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
A pipe's going to burst, and you just need to duck out the way.
Okay.
That's
good.
a 4.
That's no good either.
That's
That's
very
not good at all.
bad. Very bad,
Doesn't
Sid.
get much worse.
Yeah.
Sid.
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 Hey, Sid.
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 Sid. There's silence coming from this bathroom. Not just the stall. The entire bathroom. You realize that you can't hear the sounds of the people outside. And as you're sort of stood there, doing the talk, not getting a reaction, what do you think you would do in this moment?
At a certain point, Bluster deserves a reward.
Mm-hmm.
And absent any sounds, at this point, I think he's just dodging me.
Yeah.
And there's only one, you gonna have to, like, fling the door open and be like, listen here, you little shit. Sorry, turn of phrase, but seriously.
As you go to throw the door open, suddenly, a hand shoots out underneath the cubicle. A rotten, flesh falling off it, bony hand. The smell suddenly hits you, and it pulls you. You fall flat on the ground. You don't take any harm, but you lose your concealed weapon that you had upon you. It flies out, and you're out. And you look. There's nothing there. No one, no art, no rotting fingers clawing at your ankle. No feet. You're just on the floor of the bathroom, looking down at this row of cubicles. Suddenly the sound pops back. The door opens as, oh, you're right, mate. Oh, had a bit too much.
Sprawled out hands, and I'm guessing like feet in the cubicle, so it looks like he has tumbled out of it and then splayed.
Mate. Yeah. It's a much older gentleman. Again, they're sort of a bit balding, a bit more rotund. It's like, oh yeah. The hands gives a hand.
Just
all right, having a good night. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that stuff.
Yeah. God. Oh shit.
You okay? Look like you've seen a ghost.
Yeah, no, I'm just on my, if you find it, don't find me in. Like, words aren't forming. Cannot use both halves of the brain. I know that's not how it works, but just stumbling through this encounter.
Hey, look, if you need any help, there's like there's a first aid person. I don't know. Whatever your deal is, I hope you have a good night. I'm just gonna, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna have a slash. All right.
I'm out the door. Miriam. Like, whenever that needs to happen, Miriam.
Yeah. You bump into Miriam, like literally 30 seconds later. She's like, oh, are you all right? Oh gosh, you and you can see down, like, there's various, like, water stains perhaps as you've fallen down, like, let's just say, like, even in art galleries, the floor of the bathroom is probably not the most cleanest of places, even in fancy places. So you're a little bit disheveled and stuff. Definitely your tie is a little bit askew. And yeah, Mary's like, what are you playing at? I leave you for like half an hour, and you're just.
Like, no, this is not what people mean when they say taking the piss. Do I look like I am? Look, and I'm gonna lean in like, you said like haunted, and I said like, oh, that's just a euphemism. But have you seen things tonight?
Honestly, no. I've been trying to organize various people want to do interviews with the Dubois, and they don't want any interviews. They just want to have a good time. So I've been trying to fend people off, and I've had bloody Tatler. There's and points to sort of the birdie woman. There's some sort of society pages. You have this, right? You're not flaking out at me like before.
No,
Okay.
Look, just are you on right now?
On what? I'm on. I'm here.
No, I mean, like, are you on duty? Are you at work?
Yes,
are you on
yes,
right now?
Yes, I'm
okay,
on.
then, like,
yes.
when you have like 5 minutes,
Okay.
we're gonna talk.
Okay, talk. That's fine by me.
I'm just going to Is there another bathroom? Not that bathroom. Is there another bathroom?
She points to she points to another one that's on the side. That's a unisex one, so maybe there'll be some paper towels in there. Like, I've got some stuff in my office as well if you need, but just get it together, man.
Thank you. And then I will
shoot off. Let's head over to Miss Atkinson. Hello. What are you up to, my friend? What's Tara up to?
I think she's going round looking again, probably at various of the other galleries, and just going through and making very small talk with the people who are sort of vaguely important, ignoring the ones who aren't. Maybe trying to find the Dubois, but not. She doesn't want to be pushy, so she's not forcing herself towards them.
Yeah. You maybe have a look round at the other galleries. The Hewitt Gallery, you can see again lots of skull art in here. There's sort of like Mexico Day of the Dead stuff. Some interesting photography of the Parisian catacombs. The Rosenfeld one, lots more sort of funerary art. A bit. Again, you can validate from just again a quick looking around and stuff that these are like genuine pieces of art. But yes, sort of like funerary art from the Renaissance and the Middle Ages, the Rosenfeld, and then the Van Assen's gallery, various aspects of death. There's that one that you've seen before, one of their pinnacle pieces, the Best Doctor by Alfred Coogan. So again, the interesting thing as you're sort of rounding around these sort of galleries is that you notice that the Dubois gallery is closed. There's like almost like a red velvet curtain over the entrance, and there is definitely more security guards up here. Again, hands to the back, looking sort of straight ahead, glasses on, essentially. And when people come up saying, "Oh, can we get," like sort of, there's always one person who hasn't read the invite properly, and they're directed to be like, "No, at midnight there'll be slots going in." So they're turned away. But the Dubois, they are also sort of doing their own sort of mini sort of butterfly effect, sort of socially, sort of going to people. And you do catch them on the mezzanine. So and you can see that they're both together. Marielle and Anthony are sort of both together.
Marielle and Anthony Dubois.
There's a moment. Miss
Atkinson.
Atkinson, yes.
I evaluated some of your pieces last year.
Oui, yes, Anthony, please. And then Anthony's Miss Atkinson, it is. Thank you so much for. I didn't realize you were on the list. It's a pleasure to have, a renowned expert.
Well, I couldn't pass up a chance to see Triumph De La Mort all together in one place. It's fascinating.
Yes.
I heard some of the pieces were missing. However, did you get them all?
Oh no. As we said, it's a project. We had to grease a few palms, but it's all here and able to show Guy's work to the whole world. It was his dying wish that other people would see this stuff, and so now to have it in its completeness is I'm just happy to fulfill this his final wish.
And I'm sure you had it all properly checked. I am surprised you didn't come to me for that.
Oh no, we were very clear on its legitimacy. It's
really?
Yes, we had all.
Why so?
Oh well, I don't know if you know her, Mary Jansen. She did the paperwork. Everything goes from her. She's top quality. You must know her.
Do I know Mary?
You have heard of her.
Yeah.
She's not as good as you.
Yes, no, I know her. Well, I look forward to seeing them.
Oh, yes. What have you got on your ticket? Are you an hourglass, a portrait?
Marielle, darling, I'm a skull.
Oh, excellent. This is quite excellent. Hope you appreciate the paintings?
I'm sure I will. Particularly interested in Tears of Gerber.
Ah, yes, a little triptyd. Yes, it is quite the piece. It is the focus.
Excellent.
Yes, it took obviously very careful. These paintings are so old. We must
Yes, and that one was missing for a long time, so I'm intrigued to see that it's the real thing.
Make for me a read a person roll. So roll plus institution. Intuition.
Yeah, good. 16.
Whoa! Excellent. Full success. You can ask 2 questions.
Do I believe it's... Do they think it's the real one, or do they think any of the pieces of... Do they believe they have the full collection? The actual collection?
Yes. Marielle seems very convinced.
Okay.
Like, she seems very earnest when talking to you. Like, again, there's a bit of social pleasantries, because she definitely sees herself as a little bit higher class than yourself. But what's interesting, she certainly seems impassioned by it, but what I'd say with that question is that you looked at Anthony, and Anthony is sort of watching you both, like, back and forth, like almost like watching a tennis match. You know, he's not sure of what's happening. And you get another question if you would like to hold it, or if you want to use it now.
And so if I hold it later on...
It means it just means later on, as long as you say, this is a question I had from earlier. Because I don't want you to like go, oh, waste it on something, you know.
And then that would still be about this interaction. It would be like thinking back on this.
It can be. Yeah. It can be. I'm not gonna limit it to it has to be about this, but in general, I think it's just nice to be able to ask questions and stuff. That's how I would roll it.
Yeah, I'll hold it then. Yeah, I'll hold one.
Very good. There is a moment where Marielle sort of is distracted by one of these other young TikTokers, and she does almost like a really horrendous minute interview with this person. You can
one of those
see
little
that
microphones.
Oh, it's the little Rode microphones,
yeah.
And it's really irritating because it has the little head on it.
The little fake microphone thing. I know exactly.
Yeah, it does. You don't need it because we're not outside, but you know they do it anyway. And you can tell that there's somebody recording. There's someone that's got their other phone as the sort of light as well to light up the room. Is there anything you're doing, Tara, at this particular point?
No, I'll walk away from them and I'll sort of look back, glance at Anthony, and see what he's doing while that interview's going on.
Anthony isn't doing. He's sort of stepping back as it's the Marielle show, sorry. And you can see that she's very adamant. Yeah, they do the whole like, hashtag atrocity, which again, incredibly poor taste.
In which case I'll go over to Anthony.
Okay. As you go over to Anthony, there is a sort of like, Marielle, tell me, it's so good to see you. And your friend Ryan comes up, clearly half cut, and behind him Sammy also. People's heads are turning, and of course it's being captured on live streaming as well by the person. And Marielle is like, apologies, I don't recognize. Yeah, you wouldn't you wouldn't recognize someone you stole from, would you? You little tricksy thing, really, stealing from us normal, well, I mean, art dealing is what it is. And she says, I don't I just I'm sorry, I feel like there's been a misunderstanding. The art museum is fully legitimate. No, you see, that's very interesting, Marilla. Like I had a break-in at one of my warehouses, and he proceeds to get louder and louder and louder. Is there anything that you're doing, Tara, at this point? And I'd say for the other two as well, you would hear this And I'd say you're within the vicinity. I'm not going to have you like run upstairs and everything like. Yeah, everyone's heads are turned at this point. So if you want to chip in, you absolutely can. But at this moment, Tara, is there anything you're particularly doing because you are right next to the action?
She is moving away and acting like she doesn't know Brahim.
Yeah. You can see Sammy is sort of there, like taking pictures, and the light. And you can see like Mariella's sort of like blinking. He's like, could you? No. Sorry, just we're in the middle of something.
And I'll turn to anyone around me and be like, some people have no class.
Is there anyone from this team that would like to be next to Tara at this point?
I don't want to be anywhere near Tara at this point.
Yeah, you're like whoop, other side of
Yeah.
thing.
I'll be within earshot, although I know Tara and I hadn't spotted her until now.
You have spotted her now.
Yeah.
How do you feel at this moment?
There's a lot happening. I'm feel somewhat bombarded by the different things that are happening, but also I should be focusing on whether this is a suitable distraction or certainly could become one. So I'm trying to just keep my wits about me and failing somewhat.
Your heart is racing. You're still that fear from seeing before, and then suddenly seeing Tara Atkinson. This feels more than a coincidence. The argument still goes on. At this point, Alano appears, almost materializes out of the crowd, and grabs Brahim. He goes, oh, sorry. I thought we were having a conversation. Marielle. Well, this is obviously a more of a private thing. Maybe. No, I think we should have it now. Because there's nothing worse than a thief and a liar and stealing. You know? Just because you have money to spend and you can hire goons to just take what isn't yours. You're hiding something, and whatever's in that gallery, I have proof that it is mine. I even have someone here that can verify it. Oh, well, please, reveal it to us, you're expert. Do you do anything, Tara?
I'm glaring at Brahim.
He goes to point at you, but then Mary Jansen appears and goes, I'm so sorry. I feel like, and Mr. Bois like, excellent. Well, for those who know, this is Mary. She is our person that legitimizes artwork, and all the paperwork goes through her. Mary, tell this idiot that the paintings are verified and we have purchased them through legal means. Yes, well, we no. Looking me to be the baddie. No. It's all money. This is all just you shutting us out. You're shutting us out. You're just taking what is ours.
I'm gonna
what
step
is our...
in.
Okay.
Brahim, I've seen them. They're real. Drop it.
Ooh. Let's... What am I going to make you do? I think this is an influence other role. So when you influence an NPC through negotiation, argument, or position for power, roll plus charisma.
And do I get the plus with Brahim from our... If I've got a plus with Brahim on
it helps with the... Yes, absolutely.
So I've got plus 3 to charisma. I've rolled an 18, so that's 21.
Oh.
If I add my plus 2 with Brahim, that does become a 23.
Wow. You well. So what are you trying to get him to do?
Shut up, stop talking, and walk away.
He's succeeded in the sense of he goes, it too, Tara.
Brahim.
You know what? Fine. Clearly, I'm surrounded by fools and half-wits. I can't see what this place is. And at that point, Alano and some of the security guards grab him and start to take him away. He goes, "Oh, I'm going. Don't want to be part of this stupid art center anyway. I hear it's all death here." Marielle turns to you. Thank you.
You're welcome. He's had a lot to drink.
Yes, well, it's unfortunate. He was on the, oh, we did blacklist him from other events, so... Tara, I remember you now. You're, the one with the keen eye.
Yes.
Maybe we could, talk about some future collaborations.
That sounds wonderful, Marielle. I'll have my people call your people.
Oh. I look forward to it.
I don't think this does anything, because I think my stability is as full as it can be.
Right now it is.
So, okay, fine. Because I have the opportunist advantage.
Ooh, read it out for us.
Whenever you sacrifice someone else to further your own goals, gain stability.
Yes, unfortunately you're at full stability.
I'm at full stability.
But you that's
the vibe. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
You've executed that with poise and panache. Yes, absolutely. Well, is there anything else that anyone would like to do before midnight rolls around? There's definitely lots of candidates, and there's a lot of like hushing essentially at this point. Like again, people sort of are dispersed. Mariella and Anthony split and sort of do some circles around the rooms. Yeah. What would you like to do? If there's nothing.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There is a big bong as a chime starts to go off. And you, no matter where you sort of are in this center, your eyes immediately go to the mezzanine where Marielle is. And she's there. She's changed into something different. Has either a different shawl or a different outfit. And she goes, "The time, it's now. If you have skull invitations, please make your way along to the Dubois Gallery. Our guards will check, because obviously it is only a limited viewing. And yes, please enter and enjoy the show." So, the two people out of this group that have skull invitations are Tara and Miss Van Assen.
I didn't even need an invitation.
No, you didn't. But conveniently, Carl plucks one out and hands it to you.
Offended at the suggestion that I would need work. Fine.
Actually engraved my invitation on the side of the building.
Yeah,
I mean,
name's there.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no question about it. If anything, Marielle goes, "Oh, please," and sort of spots you and holds out her hand. Says, "I would be honored if you would join me."
I will accompany her.
Her hand feels very fragile in yours. You can feel like the bones very stick thin, like no weight to her hand at all. But there's a little bit of a strength as she sort of grasps you. It doesn't pull you or anything like that, but just brings you along to the front. Sid, are you gonna try and get in, or are you just gonna bide your time?
I think this is a really good time for Mary rather, to not be busy.
Yep, she's there with you.
Yeah, so now, like, okay, they're lining up, they're gonna go in there, like, you, me, office, or, like, literally anywhere. I need to know more about what's going on.
Of course. Do you want to? I mean, I can try and sneak you in if you want to see it there, or do you want? I can take you to the office now.
I'm thinking the best thing here is to follow her lead, because she's the one who knows what's up. So if we need to be in there, then in there. And if we need to be in her office, in her office. But I don't know how to communicate that as Sid right this second.
Sure, absolutely. You sort of do various sort of eye motions, which she immediately interprets. And she goes, and sort of indicates to you. And just as people are checking tickets and stuff, you sort of fall into line at the back. And as sort of these very gruff, almost impossibly tall guards sort of lean across, she goes, "Oh, with me, my plus one," and is sort of lets you through. Sid, I need you to make me a. It's always good when you throw the thing on the floor. I think act under pressure. That's okay. So roll plus coolness.
This is the thing that I'm best at, so if I don't do it well, it's all downhill from here. Ooh, I Emily'd that. 19
Emily?
plus
Oh,
3.
yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, and
Let's
yes,
go.
I love that. I love the vibe of that. Yeah, you sort of like do a cheeky wave, and it's like they just sort of they don't say anything to you. They part. But as you go through, you're sort of the last person in, and as the doors shut slowly behind you, there's a weird smell, just for the briefest of moments. Like, you know when, like, there's aftershave or what we would call Febreze. Obviously, other detergents are available. That sort of air freshener smell. It's there to cover something else. Something. Ugh. It smells like rotten fish. No, not fish. Meat. But the doors shut behind you. In the room, very similar to the layout of the other galleries that you have had a chance to look through this evening, there's actually nothing on the walls. If anything, the different paintings that are here, they're in a circle on freestanding sort of artist
Easels.
Thank you. I was like, oh no, words.
The thing.
the thing that makes some stuff. Yes, on freestanding easels, and you can see there are a couple of them. Let me make sure I've got the names of them right. You can see that again, along with the actual painting of them on the easel, there is like a little plaque next to it on a very separate, almost like, you know, it's sort of ostentatious. Obviously so. There's like a little plaque that's just been made for that, but it's freestanding as well. Nothing is on the walls of this particular place. You can see there are 8 oil paintings, and the triptyd is in the center, currently closed. Having a wander around, you can see that not only are they on easels, these paintings, and they're sort of spread out in a wide sort of circle, there's also, in order to, I think probably Tara would be aware of this, maybe the others less so. There is like spikes or wire or something around these paintings, clearly to fit into some sort of gothic, like macabre theme, essentially, as a way as a security measure. So each of these paintings, they're not like surrounded with barbed wire, but just around. There's almost like spikes to stop people getting too close, because these are off the walls. There's not like a protective measure to them. Going around, you can see that the names of these 8 oil paintings. You have the prison, sorry, which seems to be like a self-portrait of a man being flanked on either side by this person's corpse, and it sort of talks about being representing of the body. Next to that, you have something called the coupling, which seems to depict a dark bedroom with crumpled sheets and empty wine bottles and rotting food, where 2 corpses rest in the afterglow of their lovemaking. And again, it talks about this as representing feelings and passion. Next to that, framed in the moonlight, a robed figure traverses a vast desert, seeking an indistinct city, representing the intelligence, and this is named the Wanderer. The Free Angels is next, a dying man chained atop a pile of skulls, reaching up towards 3 stone angels, representing the imprisonment of an illusion. The Fool's Wisdom, a disemboweled man offering his entrails to a high-up angel, exchanging for divine insight, representing the instincts. Another one, a crucified gentleman, standing before burning ruins, whilst anarchists dance in the background, representing the force of life. This is known as the Artuno Caldo. The Feast of Ignorance, again, quite a horrific scene, deep within what looks to be catacombs, There are haloed figures examining the stigmata of an emancipated corpse, representing the will. And then finally, the triumphator, a haloed death above what seems to be a couple, Adam and Eve, slipping into the churning chaos of purgatory, representing the consciousness. Again, you feel like, if only we watched that video earlier. But finally, the centerpiece. The Tears of the Cheraba, a man-sized triptych representing the awakened self, currently shut. You can see Marielle is sort of like looking around, looking very, very sort of on edge, but clearly quite excited. Anthony next to her, sort of whispering stuff to her, but clearly she does not hear it. People start to gather around the sort of centerpiece, waiting for the opening. Sid, because you're closest to the door, you hear something on the other side, which sounds like something being, like something quite heavy being put around the handles. And you hear that there's definitely a distinct click of a lock as the silence of people sort of murmuring quietens down.
Looking down to Mary, looking back to the door. Is this part of it?
I don't know. As you say, is this part of it? You start to see there's lights appearing on the floor, almost like lighting up lines that go between these 8 paintings and the centerpiece. You can see like people going, "Oh, didn't realize they'd installed this. That's where all our money's going." Tara and Miss Van Assen, are you doing it? What are you doing? Are you getting closer to the center, or where are you in this particular space, the room just now?
I think as Tara sees Sid, she'll just sort of tip her glass to him, like, oh, very good, well done. And then she'll probably stay on, like, wander round the circle, looking not necessarily at the main painting, but keeping an eye on looking at the other ones and just seeing if she can spot anything wrong with them.
Let's do a. Let's do an investigate. Roll plus reason.
I'm not good at investigation. But that is a 13. I am good at rolling, apparently.
Ooh,
oh no, sorry,
good.
no, it's not. That's a 1, not a 10. So that's actually only there's a 6. No, less. It's a 4. No, wait, maths. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous. 4. It is a 4. It's a 4.
Okay.
It's a 4.
And that is the emotional rollercoaster of KULT.
I was like, happy number, not bad, no bad number.
Oh, you may get some information, but you pay a price for it. You expose yourself to dangers or costs. The GM makes a move. Looking at these paintings, you can't get too close. And obviously, to get out your equipment here would be a bit of a faux pas. Yeah. But you can see that they seem pretty genuine. If anything, with the dark lights and the lights coming up, they look so good. They don't look like they've aged a day. As you instinctively sort of maybe put your hand out, you don't necessarily go to touch a painting, but you are suddenly aware that this painting looks wet. Marielle is like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to and it's still holding Madame Van Assen's hand and sort of lets it go. I'm delighted to introduce the centerpiece, and well, please enjoy the Atrocity exhibit. And she'll go and starts to open the triptych. On one side, on the left and the right, the panels, they depict 2 roads. One is light and one is dark. snaking over to 2 citadels. In the middle panel itself, it's just open and people starting to lean a little bit, but all 3 of you see it. There is the Spring of Death, a bone-white fountain that overflows with black ichor and has a tall, dark figure visible beyond the spring that is cloaked in shadows and its face etched in age. In the center, stuck to the wooden paneling, is a knife. In one fluid motion, Marielle pulls the knife, turns to Anthony and cuts his throat. Blood spitting over Van Essen, over the people who are stunned into silence, thinking that this is part of some sort of show. Anthony collapses to the ground, his blood pooling and seeping into the floor. Suddenly there is a cry from the back. Alano de la Sos, de la Set. Oh, Alano. He is bent over in pain. Oh! As his clothes start to tear. No, not his clothes. Something starts to pull itself out of him. A horrible tearing and cracking of bone as a horrible visage of, well, to those who know their art history, to those who have seen this visage, it hits you. His picture has been around this whole gallery. A tormented form of Guy Vauquelin appears, ripping and tearing the flesh suit that was Alano. No eyes to speak of, torn. Fangs? Possibly. Form screams and howls. I need everyone to do a keep it together roll for me, please.
Can I also just note that the blood splattered on me?
Oh, we'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
It's not going to help with my keeping it together.
No. 16 for Tara.
16, yeah.
13 for Sid.
Okay.
Actually got loads. Does the -1 for stability take away from everything?
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Wow, that's still quite a lot. I've still got a 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright. I think
we're a sane bunch. We're okay.
I'm not feeling
nice.
sane!
Mine's a qualified success, so...
Yes, I think from the back, Sid, suddenly you're like, oh,
This guy.
this isn't real. I'd say for both Tara and Erin, you are frightened. I'd say for Erin as well, because you rolled so well. I won't make you do another phobia check on that front, but you are looking at your hands covered in this blood, and you have to focus incredibly hard, and you're backing away, managing not to hit into one of the spikes. This creature, Sid, it looks to you. A breath, a horrible sigh of relief and enjoyment. I think, which one do you think to choose? I think scared. I think scared would do for you. So -1 stability for you, Sid. Marielle looks directly across. Everyone, it's almost parted like the Red Sea at this point. Marielle looks. My love, I've done it. The veil is thinning. You can come home to me. My love. And she holds out her hand, her blood, her husband's blood, all over her dress sodden. Vauquelin snaps back. And in an instant is next to her. That horrible sort of straight to her. My love, You're home. And he embraces her. But whilst the embrace is happening, the paintings, that sopping wetness, suddenly there is almost a cacophony as suddenly things start to come out of the paintings all around the circle. Horrible things with too many limbs, too many teeth, too many eyes. Horrible cackling laughter. The feast can begin. And I think we'll end it there for this first session of KULT Divinity Lost, the Atrocity Exhibit. I think it's a good stopping point.
Oh, is that or carry on? Which is worse?
That's a good, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to stop the music now.
This is that point where we have to have like a de-stressful music so
I
it
should
can
have
all
nice
come
music.
down from
Hang
the...
on,
Do you not have 4 gooses and a pony soundtrack?
soundtrack somewhere? Let me find a nice song from one of our old things that's happy.
Gaggle
You
of
talk
geese.
amongst yourselves.
Gaggle of geese.
Okay, this one. No,
Remember
this is a
when
good
we
song.
saw that gaggle of geese earlier,
Yeah.
everyone? That was nice, wasn't it?
Oh, what did they
What's
represent?
your favourite goose? What's your favourite goose fact? Did you know goose have
I
little
don't have a goose.
spikes on their tongues, and if they bite you, it
do.
really hurts.
This is one of our old.
Painful.
I'm just going to
They've got
put
a
this
painful bite.
nice old bit of music on.
I've got a painful
That
bite.
goes.
I've got a painful bite. Oh, thanks. Oh,
We're going to use that one.
Oh, I remember this one.
Starfinder one,
Classic.
yeah.
Classic.
This is our
Better
decompression.
already. Yeah.
Decompression
Yeah.
It
after
might
a
be a bit
horrible
loud, I'll turn it
thing.
down a bit.
Yeah.
There we go. Just nice happy music.
Normal
Woohoo!
geese. Not
That
demonic geese.
Fiona, that was exciting.
Yeah, I thought you guys did very well.
My face at the end, I was like, Emily, try not to just look horrified. And I was like, oh no, I can't not. I can't just not go.
Panto faces are well received. Do not worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Let's we have invited, for those of you who are familiar with RPGeeks but not with Fiona or Aaron, you can see why we have invited them in particular for this particular system and this lovely sponsored stream. So let's hear more about y'all. Fiona.
Oh, sure.
What's going on with you?
Well, when I'm not being 8 different paintings. My name is Fiona. I run What's My Rolling, which is a twice monthly RPG one-shot podcast where we do lots of different RPG systems. This is my first time running KULT Divinity Lost, but I've really enjoyed the system. I'd highly recommend, obviously, thanks so much to Helmsgas for sponsoring the stream. I'd honestly recommend checking it out. Again, I appreciate horror isn't for everyone, but the lore, that's something, sometimes when I run games and stuff like that, the mechanics, fine, that's something that sort of interests me. That's what I like to teach on What Am I Rolling, but there's something about the lore of this which I'm like, oof, so I need to know a lot more. So I'd highly recommend on that front. And yeah, if you're like, I don't like any of this scary stuff, I just want dragons and dungeons, and I'm like, well, I do a D&D podcast, which is the DM's Book Club, where we talk about lots of different RPGs, but also Dungeons and Dragons, and discuss how we can improve it and put it into our role-playing campaigns. And that's me. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'll stick some links in
Oh, thank you. That's very
Twitch
kind.
chat.
If you're watching
here.
live, and if you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, then there'll probably be links in the description below. If there isn't, drop a comment and we'll remember to do that.
Well, that'd be good.
It's a thing I think we have done in the past, but not necessarily every time. So let me try and remember that when I put this on YouTube. Yeah.
Thanks, Pass Emily, for future Emily's mistakes.
Yeah. And Aaron, where have you appeared to us from?
Oh, I have had the great privilege of playing a lot of KULT in the past. It is literally my favorite system as of a time of recording. I mean, it might change depending on when the Kickstarter drops. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So I can start by saying, Fiona, you've done an incredible job with it. It's not a It is not an easy system to do. Like letting dread build is hard. So how do you do hands out of toilets and paintings without seeming silly? It's a difficult thing to do, and I recognize that it was well done. So thank you so much for letting me be part of that.
Oh, thank you.
And always a pleasure to be with the RP Geeks
Yeah.
generally. If you want to see more Cult, because we have run Cult, I will say if you want to see slightly less good than what you just watched Cult,
No.
No,
you
don't
can go
do
to
that.
Queen's Court Games.
Not even joking.
Award-winning Queen's Court Games.
Yeah,
The award-winning
multi-nominated.
multi-award nominated award-winning.
We did 2 different Cult games, His Last Hope and Downfall. His Last Hope, probably the lighter of the 2. Downfall has some heavier content warnings, so please be careful to go that way.
Yeah.
Else, we are always playing Delta Green. We have a fantastic Vampire the Masquerade podcast that, at time of recording, is the award-winningest actual play on planet Earth, according to the Audio Fiction World Cup.
Yeah.
What? The award-winningest?
The award-winningest?
Yes,
That's
the
awesome.
award-winningest. Which you can find either at our website, queenscourt.games. You can search for the All Night Society, like YouTube podcast, whatever, you'll find it there. Or One Shots and Other Mischief is our podcast that handles everything that is not the Vampire Show. So lots of places to see us, or Twitter, Queen's Court RPG, Blue Sky, whatever, so you can grab us. Oh boy, sorry, it's coming out fast because I'm just like on autopilot after
Yeah.
I just watched a man erupt from another man.
That. The minute you said that you're like, there's a knife on it, I was like, oh, I don't think that's on the painting. I was like, that's not in the picture I've got here, Fiona. What are you talking about? And then I was like, oh, I see.
It's an actual knife! For those of you who want a little bit more discussion, in just a minute, we are going to hop off and do some Patreon-only post-show chats. So I would highly recommend getting yourself signed up to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/rpgeeksdnd.
Daddy, Norovirus, Daddy.
But Emily Bates, where else should people be looking for excellent RP Geeks content?
Twitch is we go live every Monday on Twitch at 7 p.m. That's RP
I'm
Geeks
so shocked
D&D.
by that.
Our other that was not the question I was expecting, so I was just
Sorry.
like,
I'm sorry.
And then we also have a YouTube channel, RP Geeks D&D. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, soon maybe to be XX, who knows? At RP Geeks D&D. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Is that all of them? We're on Threads, technically.
Are we? Technically.
Yeah, I've posted a GIF on there a few times.
Go us.
Go us. Well done, everyone. And thank you, Andy, for posting the link in chat. We also, if you want to catch up on previous stuff we've done, we have full campaigns and things are on YouTube and on podcasts. And we have a load of one-shots with great guests. If you like scary stuff, we did View Scream, which Aaron GM'd for us a while back, and that was super
really
fun.
good.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed
it
that
was really
one
fun.
a lot.
Yeah, we should do that again.
And is that all of our things? I think that's all of our things. Sorry, that was a really bad plug section.
Sorry,
there
I
from
didn't
memory.
tell you I was going to throw to you there, but...
Got a cold.
Oh yeah, and you will. I'm sorry. Well, just before we go, thank you so much, everyone who's made it this far and has stuck with us and has not run away screaming. I hope you're all safe, possibly hiding behind a pillow or something. I don't know.
I could have done with a pillow.
Yeah.
Before we go, I just want to give a shout out to some of our patrons from our Patreon. Since this is an art themed campaign, over the next four episodes. This is, by the way, four episodes will be on next Monday as well, and then taking a break, and then the following 2 Mondays. So put that in your diary. But we're going to assign pieces of art to our patrons. Isn't that nice? So I've got a selection today of some of our newest patrons, and I thought, yeah, we can pick some art pieces for them. So I'm starting off with our patron Reth the Swallow Would Be Proud, because this is a reference to a character of mine from Three Black Halflings. So thanks for that. So in the spirit of the Three Black Halflings, Curse of the Spider Queen, Wagadu campaign, I'm imagining a grand savannah landscape with a little silhouette of an antelope just on the horizon against the sky, but also it's at night for some reason, so I don't know how the silhouette would work. It's against the sky, it's against the stars.
Maybe,
yeah. It's definitely at night. It's like dark and a noble antelope. So that is my offer for Wrath the Swallow would be proud, and thank you for your patronage. We've also got Falarin, one of our new patrons, which Emily Bates.
I'll do Falarin.
Yeah,
I've known Falarin for longer than I've known Sharmony. We went to uni
Jealous
together.
now.
Yeah.
Aw.
And so for Falarin, without giving away everything about him, I won't do that.
Don't
Sorry.
dox him.
Sorry, Falarin. I think it's a stage with like.
Is it a painting?
It's a painting. Yeah, it's a painting.
Yeah, okay.
Painting of a stage with sort of like just quite raw wood boards, sort of on a rake, sort of leading up, and then there's a man in a spotlight, wearing sort of a suit but looking away, and
Is it symbolic?
I don't know. Yeah.
Is there a goose in the wings?
And then there's a goose in the wings, and there's a goose. You
looking at
know,
the
one of
goose.
those sticks that they used to like pull people off stage with.
Yeah.
The goose is holding one of those and kind of looking like, "Oh, am I gonna do it?" That's
symbolic. That's deep. We do what we do.
But also
aren't
not
we?
because I think Falarin should be pulled off any stages. I think he should be put on all the stages because he's wonderful. But that's
By a goose.
by a goose.
And finally for today, our wonderful patron, Gareth Blindfish. Aaron, if you had to create a piece of art to represent someone called Gareth Blindfish, what comes to mind?
Well, as I understand it, Gareth Blindfish, in his professional capacity, knows quite a bit about brains and emotions. I understand that Emily also does, so I'd like Emily to stop listening while I describe this art in case I get it wrong. Because I am imagining it is a modern painting, so closer to Nighthawks than to anything from the past. It's not a Van Gogh or whatever. And it is two figures. They are in shadow. They're darker, so indeterminate gender, and they're sitting on a bench. You're seeing it from behind, and then the hands are almost touching behind the bench, but the fingers aren't fingers. They stretch out from little nuclei into axons, and the knuckles are little myelin sheaths, because at the end of the fingertips where the presynaptic axon terminals are touching, you see the little flow of emotion neurotransmitters going between their
Very
fingertips.
close to correct. Well done.
So close.
I almost did it.
You could have just said very good, but you just had to be
It's
more.
good.
just had to
It's
be like,
good. No, it's good. It's solid. Really solid. Myelin sheath. Very. You know.
Well, actually,
Very nice.
that's,
I was
That's-
channeling
that's
Psych
quite good,
101
yeah.
from an amount of time ago that would age me inappropriately.
Well, with that, I think we will leave it for now, and we'll go and have our own little debrief for the Patreon. Do join us again next week. Again, if you're on Twitch, we are going live at 7 p.m. GMT on Mondays, and we'll be up on YouTube and podcast afterwards. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
um,